What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of A Life with Cars this evening. Today we are getting ready for a road trip in the Mercedes. And of course, no other than Jeff's house we end up at for a night of maintenance. Tonight we're going to just change the oil. We have 2,000 miles of a road trip going to Pennsylvania and back all the way from the St. Louis area in Illinois. And we are also going to do a little bit of 60,000 mile maintenance, belt change, and we're also going to top off the transmission fluid. So we're going to hop right to this. And I also wanted to say, if any of you guys are wondering where to get parts for your AMG, Mercedes, regular Mercedes, BMW, Volvo, Volkswagen, anything European, hit up these guys at FCP Euro. They're the home of the lifetime guarantee. Alex from Legit Street Cars, of course, turned me on to these guys, and I'll tell you what, they have just about everything. So we're going to pop this box open. We got a Liqui Moly 5W40 European Formula oil change in here, and also a couple quarts of some Redline transmission fluid and an OE Mercedes replacement belt. And the nice thing about these is, obviously it's right up in front, and it seems pretty easy. Jeff's already got the breaker bar on there, going to town like usual. This guy, look at the hard worker. Yeah. Got the belt out from FCP Euro. Of course, always the right size with those guys. Got the belt diagram. Straight out of the C55 manual. Also, if you guys are looking for a manual, if your car didn't come with one for some reason, or you're just looking for general information, you don't want to walk outside and grab your manual, just literally type in W203 Mercedes C55 AMG service manual, and two to three links down on Google you'll find a PDF of the actual full manual. It's really convenient. Looks like the valve covers are still doing good, bud. Yeah. That is literally like almost at least 25,000 miles ago we did those valve covers. And simple as that, guys, it's on. Now, a lot of times if you don't have two people for this can be a little more challenging. But I did hear a cool little trick in researching this project today. Underneath the tensioner pulley down there where you can see that ratchet is on, there's supposedly a little dowel hole. And when you fully extend the tensioner, there is a way you can jam it with, say, a pick or a screwdriver, something of the nature to lock the tensioner open. For future reference, maybe we'll try that the next time we're doing one of these. Alright, so we are about to see, somebody commented about the oil filter that we use, how Wix is not necessarily what you should be using in this, but I'll tell you what, Wix and all of these other companies typically design these filters to be identical to OEM spec. So we're about to pull this out and see if those little plastic things are still there. Sure enough, everything's still there. But this time, I got what FCP wanted me to use in this car with their Liqui Moly kit, so you guys can't complain with that one. The guys themselves have actually given me this filter this time. Speaking of which, man filter. Now this, obviously, I have found out is the factory Mercedes filter, based on the research that I've done, the exact part number, the exact manufacturer, so you guys can't complain anymore. So yeah, to me, the only difference in media that it looks like, it's definitely not any heavier. It's still just a synthetic fiber filter here. As you see, all of those little kind of plastic strings around it. Just much smaller and much more evenly spaced than what the Wix filter was. Got the Liqui Moly in here. Oh, Jeff. Copper washer. I thought it was a Felpro gasket, but it's actual copper washer and it's the right size. So. Yep. Yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys this whole Mercedes oil filter kit and Liqui Moly oil kit for the Mercedes on FCP is only like 75 bucks. In my opinion, you really can't beat that unless you're buying cases of oils and cases of filters at a time. So give those guys a shout if you need anything. Leaking quite a bit more oil now, as you guys see, like I said, weeping from the little drain plug there. The gasket, however, is bone dry. Everything above it seems bone dry. This side completely bone dry, still just leaking out of that little weep hole. Because I will have to say, Euro Parts has had some really good things for this car. Decent prices on things. They don't have everything, of course, like FCP Euro, but they did send us the wrong little gasket for that. Yeah. Yep. Definitely rear main seal. Gonna have to get that done here pretty soon. I mean, I don't think it's not leaking like a ton, But I bet over the past oil change, that's been at least, what, half a quart? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Maybe not half a quart, but maybe a half a quart. It's not leaking like Joseph's was, but that's got to get done. Remember, guys, if you're doing your own oil change on an M113, you got 2 drain plugs on this thing. Actually, I can't say that for certain on a E55, but I can't see it being any different. Got one where Jeff's working, then one right around here. Gotta make sure you get all that. Alright guys, we gotta work fast here. Got the little O-ring. Got the O-ring in my fingers.
Hey, look at that, fits right in there.
It's beautiful. Woo. Here, I gotta set this down. Filter going in. By the way, you also don't need to tighten this like you're tightening on a lug nut. This just needs to be bottomed out right to the bottom of that thing. We learned that right away. Otherwise, it's a pain in the butt to come off. I've never seen a pour spout like that. That's pretty cool. Liquid moly. That's what you get for the extra money, right? German engineering in a bottle. The purest of pure funnel. Liquid moly. Liquid gold. Now with all the liquid gold, just give her a seal up, wipe her down, put the engine cover back on, which is sitting over there. Now, a couple of you guys had asked how the engine cover pops on and off, and I talked to one of you guys on Instagram about it personally. You see these little rubber tabs, this one's sitting back there, and then there's 2 more in the identical spots on the other side. Those are exactly where the little feet on that little guy go. Other than that, it has to pressure fit around this intake, and that's how it's held on there. You just simply got to pop it off. You use a little bit of force to pop it off, and you just got to use a little bit of force to pop it back on. Just make sure it's seated nice and flush. The hole on the front of the engine cover right here, this will perfectly line up with the oil fill port. So if you don't have that perfectly lined up, then it's not going to go on right. So the belt's on, and that should tide me over for the trip to Pennsylvania. As it goes, we're going to top off the transmission fluid here too. We got to check it with our special dipstick, and which is located back here. For your reference, this is the oil dipstick, and then down back, right next to it, that little plastic cap. You can see it right there. That pops off. It's got a little safety pin clip in it, and then you just check it with your little dipstick that you gotta buy. Alright guys, and to check the fluid on the transmission, the car's obviously pretty warm still, but we have to warm it up further. It pumps the fluid through the torque converter to get the proper reading on the level, so we're just gonna sit here and BS until it warms up, and we're gonna start it up, make sure that belt works. Alright guys, so you asked for it. So the thing, you just want to pretty much line it up with the front here. Once it's pretty much lined up right there with this, it's pretty much lined up on the little thing. So you just give it a thud like that. And sometimes it doesn't do that, so you just gotta kind of move it around until you feel it goes on all of them. Yeah, this isn't working. Alright. So we're trying to get this back on. I understand some of you guys' frustration. Sometimes this goes right back on, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just gonna make sure it's seated on the throttle body, because that's the biggest thing here. I feel the gasket on there. There we go. Solid, just like that. So the biggest thing is you got to make sure that it lines up with the throttle body. Otherwise, the 4 little things, the 4 little posts, it's not gonna line up. Alright, so as it goes, guys, these are the little vents for the kind of ram air intake that it has. So it has the little markings if you get confused, right and left for driver's side and the passenger side. It takes a
L.
Yep. And then so basically they mount like this, the way around. One in this way, and then this one goes in like that. So the best way that I've found is to kind of start it in the actual ram air little outlet itself, and it's got a little cap that it fits into. and it just kind of pressure fits on, just like so. This one, just make sure that it's solid in the little cap. It doesn't make much of a noise. It's just got one simple plastic clip. Same thing goes with this one. This little guy just has a simple little plastic clip that it hooks onto. And just put it right under here. Sometimes you gotta move this hose out of the way. Oh, it's a pain in the ass sometimes. There we go. Just like that. Just make sure it's tight. That's all it needs to be. It's not gonna pop off. It really has nowhere to go. And it's done. See, even I got my hands dirty this episode. Alrighty guys, so that's the quick service maintenance for the Mercedes for the trip to Pennsylvania. Me and Jeff got it done. Nice little half an hour, 45-minute service. Just like being at the dealership, only I didn't get coffee and crumpets sitting in the waiting room. Had to get my... Got grief. Got grief, that's right, dude. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being along for another ride. Jeff does too, taking a swig of the water. We're gonna go inside and enjoy the rest of the evening. I am going to have a vlog out about the trip to Pennsylvania, just the ride, just if anything crazy happens, if I see anything cool out in Pennsylvania as it goes for cars or on the drive on the highway. I'm gonna enjoy the weekend, guys, so don't expect too much of a vlog other than a cool drive vlog, or if something crazy happens. It's my buddy's bachelor party, so it's gonna be a fun time. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks again. Till it feel it goes on all of them. Yeah, this isn't working. Did one of those clips fall off?
No, they're all on. There be no clips.
I heard something fall though.